friends, this video is for our first grade room for July week 3, which is July 17th. Oops, I forgot to come over here. All summer long, we're learning about making waves. What you do today can change the world around you. And we are keeping the same memory verse that we had in June. The fruit the Holy Spirit produces is love, joy, and peace. It is being patient, kind, and good. It is being faithful, gentle, and having control of oneself. So in June, we talked about love, joy, peace, and patience. The last 2 weeks, we talked about kindness and goodness. This week, we are learning about faithfulness. So jumping into week 3, we look back at 1 Samuel 18 through 20 and 2 Samuel 9. We dive deeper into the amazing friendship between David and Jonathan. Jonathan was a faithful friend to David when King Saul chased David and tried to kill him. David was faithful to Jonathan and kept an important promise to care for Jonathan's family. So, our bottom line, be faithful so others can count on you. Faithfulness will look different for each of us. Some of us will be faithful to family members who need encouragement. Others will faithfully help friends who struggle a bit. And we hope that kids can learn that God can do some amazing things through them when they are faithful to others. What a great fruit of the Spirit to learn about and teach these kids about. So, jumping into our leader guide, we'd love for you to join us at 8:20 and 10:20 in the garage room. The prayer team has been coming to pray with us and over us, and it is a great time of community and fellowship, and we've also got coffee and donuts. Then just make sure that you're to your small group area by 8:30 and 10:30 so that you're ready to roll when kids start coming in at 8:40 and 10:40. This week we have a coloring page. It is David and Jonathan because they are faithful friends. And on the back side, like always, is a devotional that kids can take home and look at during the week. So then when service starts at 9 and 11, the kids can keep coloring if they'd like to, but if they're getting a little restless, a little interactivity that you have, you're going to have kids find a partner and line up at one end of the environment. And then you're going to give each pair a ball and challenge them to work together to move their balls to the opposite end of the environment and back without using their hands. If the ball falls to the floor, then the team starts over. So you're going to challenge kids to move the ball in different ways, between their bellies, behind their backs, using only their elbows, etc. Okay? And then you'll just say, great job. Each of you did your best so that you and your partner could move the ball down and back. Your partners could count on you to help them. Well, in large group, we're going to hear why it's always important to be someone that others can count on. So let's go learn more. And I'm just going to have a trash bag full of beach balls under this table that the different partners can use for that. So then at 10 after, you will head down to large group. Just make sure that you're on time. That way we can end on time. After large group, you have a couple of options for review activities. The first one that you can do is called Faithful Flyers. And what you're going to do is you're going to gather kids in a circle, and we're not going to use a pool or a bucket of water. We're just going to use these hula hoops. So you can put the hula hoops out and gather the kids in a circle around the hula hoop. And then you're going to have kids take 4 medium steps back to kind of spread out around the hula hoop. And then you're going to give each kid a Nerf dart, which are down there in those buckets. And you're going to instruct the kids to try to get the darts into the water, which is the inside of the hula hoop. And explain that anyone who misses has to step out of the circle and becomes in charge of retrieving the darts that didn't land in the hula hoop and bringing them back to the other kids. So the kids who got their arrow back so you're going to have everybody just throw their arrows one time. And if they miss, then they get to go retrieve them for their friends. Anybody who got it into the hula hoop is going to take one big step backwards and shoot again. Same thing. If their arrow didn't make it into the hula hoop, they go get the arrows. If their arrow did make it in, they take one big step back. And then you're just going to keep playing until the last kid has made the farthest shot. You could play as many rounds as you have time for. And the key to this is our Bible story was about 2 friends who used arrows to keep each other safe. And I actually have that story marked in your action Bible if you want to read it to the kids either before or after this activity. So what happened? Jonathan was helping David escape from Saul. How did Jonathan show faithfulness to David? He promised his friendship and he warned David about his father Saul and he helped him escape. How did David show faithfulness to Jonathan? He promised his friendship. He took care of Jonathan's family after he became king. Well, faithfulness is an important part of friendship, and it means you can count on each other and that you will help and support each other. So then talk to your kids. Who's the most faithful friend that they have? And then just kind of close it by saying Jesus is faithful, and we can count on him. And God does give us friends who will stick by us. And then just ask kids if they've ever been a faithful friend when one of their friends needed it. So just a little cool activity to talk about how Jonathan and David used arrows, and just a little fun game to get kids talking about the story. Then for the memory verse, so since we are sticking with, we're not using this memory verse that's in here, we're sticking with our memory verse from Galatians, but you're going to still play the same game. You're going to have the kids stand in a big circle, and they're going to face the back of the kid in front of them, like an arm's length apart, and you're going to have a beach ball, and you're going to guide them to say the first word of the verse, and then they pass the ball over their head to the kid behind him. And then that kid says the next word and passes the ball under between their legs. And then the next kid goes over, under, as they're saying the verse going around the circle. And then just to close it down in prayer, you're just going to close down by talking about how David was faithful and loyal to his friend Jonathan. And with God's help, we can be faithful so others can count on us too. And then just lead kids in a prayer, thanking God for David's faithfulness to Jonathan and asking for help for both you and the kids to be faithful to their friends as well. So that is it for this week, learning about faithfulness. I love it. A great story from David and Jonathan for us. Thank you guys for serving. You're just amazing. I'm so grateful for all of our Oak Ridge Kids volunteers, and we'll see you on Sunday.